popular, I guess you could say, emotional needs are was we want to be seen, valued. If you've ever heard of the five love languages,
Oh my gosh.
yes.
Oh, I heard of them back in the day. I'm like, "Meh, whatever." And
Right.
and now at this point in my life, I'm a firm believer that relationships would be all types, actually, not just romantic partnerships. A
Yeah,
lot of relationships would be so much better if we just told others what we want. That's it.
exactly.
Probably divorce rate would be lowered by a
Oh,
third.
absolutely. Well, understanding what our love languages are, right? The five of them. We've got the oh my gosh, now I'm catching myself off guard. So we've got physical touch, we've got quality time, which is huge, and
Mhm.
words of affirmation, acts of service, and I'm forgetting another
Well,
one.
affection. Did we hit that
Yes.
one?
Oh my gosh, yeah. So uh, physical affection, quality time, acts of service, words of affirmation, and oh my goodness,
What
I'm
was
forgetting that.
the gift one? How
Yes,
do you?
that's it. And gift giving. That's right.
Yeah,
And that's how you can tell what someone else's love language is. They've got a dominant one and a second one. It's
you,
usually how they convey something to you. Right.
we're not progressing
Right.
until you reveal yours and I give mine. Even the top two.
Mine.
Yeah.
Okay. Quality time and physical
Hmm.
affection. Yep.
I find a lot of women say quality time is number one. Interesting. Um, and there's never any judgment with any of this.
Yeah.
Mine would be affection and words of affirmation.
Yes. And for a majority of men and for a majority of women, that's exactly that.
Yeah,
So for a woman to feel connected into a relationship, she needs to feel emotionally safe for her to give physically.
totally.
And the exact opposite is for the man, which is why that the love languages are usually, for most part, in that form.
But interesting since we opened the door here on this,
Yeah.
that the if someone says that it's quality time,
Yeah.
that also it's not just spend time with me.
Right.
It's more of what comes from that, the safety, the emotional connection, and all of that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. It all stems off of that. And then which is why I want to get to my second point is how do we convey our and communicate that effectively, right? And for starters, if we're in an argument, or let's back up a little bit, a lot of us are afraid to communicate our emotional needs because we don't know how, or because we weren't taught how to do that, or we simply don't know what they are. A lot of it stems from the fact that we feel like we're going to be rejected. And for me, my biggest one was, well, if I kind of convey and ask for you to meet my emotional needs, I'm going to come across as needy. So I'll just
Mm.
shut up and I won't say anything at all, and I'll just continue to go with the flow. People
Yep,
pleaser, right? That doesn't work for anybody. That is a sure sign that the relationship isn't going to go anywhere. So what do? We suppress and then we resent because we think now the other person's just supposed to know, right? That's a big one that
mm.
they're just supposed to know. So yeah. So
And
I was
especially, just want to add here on the male side,
yeah.
some men feel that they're less stronger, less masculine when they bring these emotional things up because how did they
Mhm.
grow up? Big boys don't cry, man up, and all of
Right.
that. So
Oh
now
my goodness.
they suppress all of that, those emotions
Yeah.
from early in life, right until later in life.
Exactly, which brings us to the next point, which is why we struggle. And I would say you've got a great point right there, is that for men, they are told to, for the most part, to be strong, man
Yeah.
up, don't open up, stay closed. The vulnerability is a beautiful thing. It's truly the only way to open up your heart and for someone else to get to know you, whether it be you and your guy friend talking or you talking to your wife or your girlfriend. We have to open up and express ourselves and to communicate who we truly are and what our needs are. And if we don't do that and we suppress that, um, we cut the line. It's like, how do we communicate if all we have is the telephone and we choose not to pick up the phone and call somebody? And because, that's a sign of weakness, which is not. It's truly a sign of strength when we choose to be vulnerable. Vulnerability is a beautiful, if you've ever seen Brene Brown's TED Talk on
Mm.
vulnerability, it's wonderful. And I think it's
Mm,
still the number one TED Talk. But yes, I'm so glad you mentioned vulnerability because it is something that I admire in a man when he chooses to go that route because for anybody, it's a very scary thing. And when you open up and you're vulnerable and say, hey, this is what my needs are, and you use I statements, by the way,
yeah.
and using I statements is very important instead of saying, you made me feel this way. We want to reframe that and say, I feel this way, or I felt this way when this happened. And my needs are, I would appreciate if we could, and this is what I'm looking for. So,
It's such a shame because many times men, and I understand why, just what we're talking about, get a bad rap, if you will, because when they're confronted, they shut down. I don't want to talk about this right now. I'm not dealing with this. What about later? But maybe later we'll get back.
yeah.
I think deep down inside he does want to, but he doesn't know how to because he never got a chance to because of all the things that we're identifying here.
Right, right. And unfortunately, that's just the culture, right? And I think if um, in the relationship coach world or just with the divorce rate that's going on right now, we just have to realize that something's got to give,
Yeah.
right? And numbing ourselves isn't doing anybody any good. And we're to the point where the culture is constantly talking about healing. And when we have a higher percentage of, the divorce rate is so high, relationships aren't working, you get on the dating apps, and it's just like there's just no connection after the 3-month honeymoon period's over. It's just like, okay, start over again with somebody else. It's just this vicious cycle,
Mm,
and you're trying to figure it all out, right? Like we talked about before with boundaries, and now we're talking about needs. All of this stems to a couple of words. One, we want to feel safe, seen, valued. And in order to do that, we have to build the confidence to convey our boundaries and our emotional needs in order to feel safe, connected, and valued. And when both people can feel that and be vulnerable and express their needs to one another, you have a beautiful foundation and a beautiful
Hi, it's
relationship.
Tiffany, Coach Tiffany. I just wanted to say hello and thank you to all of my subscribers out there. Thank you for subscribing, and don't forget to hit the like button. It really means a lot and I appreciate your support. Also, if there's anything that you want me to cover or create in any kind of content, please feel free to go ahead and comment below. Thanks again. Have a great day.